How's it going, guys? I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This? How's it going, guys? We are continuing our Jean-Claude Van Damme month. If you didn't watch our last episode, we had watched Universal Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
And this week we have watched TimeCop.
TimeCop. I'm not sure why I had to repeat that.
Released in 1994, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Mia Sara, more famously known for Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yep.
And I wanted to do this film this week because it's on my top 5. And rewatching it, I was like, man, maybe I should rethink my top. No, it's still really enjoyable. You do get to see Mia Sara's boobs in here. Hopefully it's her boobs. I don't know if it's a boob though.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
It doesn't. But
and
I don't.
There's a little Jean-Claude butt, but it's.
And there's always Jean-Claude butt.
But it's minimal. Like it's just a quick.
You only see the plumber half.
Right. not like last week, Universal Soldier, where it was just rampant butt all over the place.
But Mia Sara has done like topless scenes before, so I do not. My mind does not want to doubt that it is Mia Sara boobs in this film. Also, in my mind, there was a lot more boob action.
It's really kind of just side boob, yeah.
No, you get like one boob.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what was in her contract. He's like, all right, you guys get one boob, not the full pair. You get the pair that they have at the Foot Locker. You know, the left one.
You don't get both. I'm not the whore.
Oh man, but yeah, I really wanted to do this one also just to pick apart their whole time travel science.
Yes, this is based 100% on fact.
I just feel like they're like, hey, let's just throw in some time mumbo jumbo, and it'll be fine.
The people who go see Jean-Claude, they're not going to understand time travel. It's okay.
Well, like one of my understandings when this movie came out too was it was supposed to sort of compete with Terminator 2.
Oh.
I think they came out around the same time. Maybe it was maybe Terminator 2 came out first. We don't have an assistant to check this out yet. So I'm not going to fact check that because it takes away from the podcast. But I think they kind of like released around the same time. And so they wanted to, have Jean-Claude be in some sort of time travel movie also.
Right. I don't want to think about that because Terminator 2 was like light years ahead of its time in special effects and stuff. And this wasn't necessarily.
Well, I think James Cameron had much more pull with investors than whoever directed TimeCop.
Probably.
I mean, I still think there was like a couple of decent graphics for the time. Like, the whole like time ripple effect thing that they would do.
That was actually that held up pretty well being 20 years later.
It kind of reminded me like, the first time you see it when Jean-Claude Van Damme gets to he goes to arrest his old partner.
Right. Back in the Great Depression or whatever.
Yeah, like 1929, where people were throwing themselves out of the window. It kind of looked like, because you see the ripple and then you see the outline of Jean-Claude Van Damme coming out of it. It reminded me of when the T-1000, or is it T-2000 from Terminator 2? The one that was all like liquid metal.
Oh, yeah.
T-2000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of how like they did the T-2002. Still, yeah, Terminator is hard to top that at that time. Yeah. But yeah, okay, and apparently this was actually a comic book movie.
I did not know that until today, and I'm the comic book guy.
Well, I'd be like, it was a pretty early period for Dark Horse, right? Like they weren't releasing a lot of like big stuff.
Right.
I think the biggest thing that they would have during that time was Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Starring Sylvester Stallone. Spawn. Michael Jai White.
Hellboy wasn't this far back, was it?
No, I don't think. Yeah, I think Hellboy was relatively. Well, no, but when did Hellboy come out? Like in the early 2000s. So maybe this might have been during the same time too. Like, I don't know if Hellboy was one of the like Kickstarters or like of Dark Horse.
And I know that they Dark Horse did. They got the rights to the Alien and the Predator and did those comics individually, and then they were the first one that kind of did that crossover that ended up spawning into
AVP.
Coming
to a podcast near you. Oh man! So yeah, we're gonna get into the movie now. Movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's playing Max. I already forgot his last name. As Kobe checks it,
Walker.
Max Walker. See, it's so American, but then they make fun of his accent in this movie.
Oh, right. Yeah, right at the beginning.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
Yeah.
But so like at the beginning of the film, we're like in the Confederate, like Civil War times. We see a guy. He's hijacking gold that was supposed to come from that was supposed to go to Ulysses S. Grant.
Yes.
And then this whole thing kickstarts this Senate meeting where they're talking about we just cracked time travel in 1994.
Right.
No, but yeah, and then so we see that like they have carbon dated like the gold
to verify that it was actually and how was it Confederate gold in like the Middle East.
Yeah, exactly. And then we cut to going to the mall. Mia Sarah or Melissa Walker.
Yeah,
she's looking at something. She's window shopping, and then a young Jean-Claude Van Damme. Side note: this looks like they filmed this right after Double Impact, where Jean-Claude Van Damme had a twin.
Yes.
But so Jean-Claude Van Damme comes up from behind her, and he hits her with this smoothest line. He goes, "There's never enough time," and she responds,
"Not enough time for what?
To pleasure a woman." Oh man! I swear, I feel like in the 90s you could get away with lines that
somebody watched that movie and then tried that line.
But I think you have to have the Belgium accent or something like that.
It would help, yeah.
And then she goes, "Well, if my husband is not here by the time I turn around, I'll just sleep with you." I guess maybe, I don't know how long they're into their marriage, but it's just me and B's like, oh, it's a little spicing up thing, like a little role playing before the full. But as we see them walking out of the mall, there's like these two goons,
right? Yeah,
sort of overlooking the bridge or whatever. And then one of them, awesomely enough, in another future podcast episode, is the mutant from Double Dragon, starring the guy from Party of Five, and a half white, half Asian dude. And another side note, the movie that revived Alyssa Milano's career. She's in that movie too. Oh yeah,
Speaking of side boob, she was in a couple very risque things after.
Well, Double Trouble's the one that got her back out of that, doing a lot of softcore stuff. But yeah, so Jean-Claude Van Damme, what's it called? Yeah, Mia Sarah's like, oh, I'm surprised they could understand your accent. I'm glad that like these movies are taking shots at Jean-Claude's
right
accent. But then he whispers a whole bunch of dirty things in her ear.
Yeah, he's like, I know the good words, and then he whispers something in her ear.
And it's usually the first words you learn in another language are all the bad words.
I hate to say this, but it's thank goodness it's not a visual medium. But my daughter was just just talking about learning sign language.
Uh-huh.
And I thought about it, and I can spell my name, and then I know a bunch of bad words. And I'm like, I guess it's just like any new language you learn. Those are the important ones first.
I think those are the funnest words. That's why.
Right.
And so we get this the obligatory. Obligatory. I can't say that word. How do you say that? Like the obligation.
Yes.
But then the Tory word.
Obligatory.
Yeah. We get that word. Sex scene.
Yes.
You see Jean-Claude butt and Mia Sarah's left boob.
Left boob.
This is that boob is all that the movie could pay for. But then after post coitus, Jean-Claude, who's still an officer, in Washington D.C., he gets a call.
Oh right, and then like when they meet at the mall, he makes reference to a job interview that he's doing with the police. That you later find out is like the department or the person.
TEC.
Yeah, is the TimeCop department.
And so she says like, "Hey, don't get that. I have something I need to talk to you about." But he gets it because he wants to get this job, so he probably doesn't want any red marks on his
right. Yeah, so
name.
he's stepping up whenever they ask.
Yeah, and then and I feel like whenever a woman is like saying, "I have something to tell you," it's only like a handful of things, and one of them is always, "I'm pregnant."
Yep. Yep.
But I mean, they're happily married, so it's not really a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So I don't know why she was hesitating.
Maybe because he's going for these new jobs and he's working on his career, and she thinks it's going to be just, I don't know.
But feel
yeah, it was very delayed. Like,
yeah. Well, I feel like if she had told him that, it would like spur him on more to like get this new high paying job, right?
Right.
So you never know. But so Jean-Claude makes his way outside, and then this is where he gets like jumped.
Yes.
He's getting his ass beat. Some guy takes his wife into the house, and the only thing I could think about is, "I spit on your grave." I was like, "No, don't do it, no."
Yeah, they don't show anything, but they kind of allude to.
Well, no, I don't think they do anything because like there's not really enough time.
That is true,
right?
And then the house blows up.
Yeah. Oh, side note, also, TimeCop, man out of time, is is a wasted motto for the movie poster of TimeCop. Yeah. So after that, we sort of cut to 1929, like New York or something like that, where the stock exchange is going on. Some guy killed himself. It was happening a lot during that time because of the Great Depression is starting. One guy doesn't care, super cavalier. He's like, well, he was gonna die some way. Goes upstairs, he has they have those weird stock machine things.
Right. A little Rockefeller kind of like
lifestyle, right?
Lifestyle and office.
Yeah, and so he goes into his private office because you could tell by the car that he pulled up in, he was like super rich already. And so he pulls out the newspaper, and then he pulls out a newspaper from 2004.
What? USA Today.
Yeah, and then he turns off that old timey radio, probably made from cherry wood, and he pulls out a cassette tape, which in 2004 no one was using cassette tapes anymore either.
Maybe they were.
I don't remember. I think I stopped like 1999 because I remember still walking home from school using cassette tape, but then like always never having batteries.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah. Oh yeah. So and then this is where we get the first like little special effects like ripple, and it's Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's there to retrieve his partner.
Right.
Because he had gone rogue. He had gone AWOL.
Yeah, and apparently that's like a thing that would people start going back in time, and they see how easy it is to use their future knowledge to just live it up.
Exactly.
In the oldie times.
Right. Get super rich. I mean, I guess maybe he was trying to set up for his like actual family.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah, and when he's looking through the newspaper, he's kind of going through and he's finding stocks that are like like I said, kind of like coming out of the Great Depression that are like $1, and then he's comparing them to the USA Today, and he's finding the ones that are like
super high,
$280 or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, buy me 10,000 shares of that.
No, he won 100,000 shares.
100,000,
which is crazy. I'm pretty sure during that time everybody was just like, "You're crazy, man! It's the Great Depression." But yeah, so Jean-Claude Van Damme is telling him, "Hey, we need to collect you." And so we get this really cool fight. Well, not really cool fight. Like some guy comes out, says that he boxed a boxer, and then got his ass whooped.
That's the great one-liner. That was like my favorite line.
But we also do get one Jean-Claude split.
Yep.
During this. Oh yeah,
because the boxer comes out and he's like, I went 10 rounds with
blah blah blah,
blah, blah, blah. And the Jean-Claude whoops his ass, and then he's like, I watched Mike Tyson beat Sphinx on HBO.
Oh yeah, but his partner ends up getting caught. He's having this conversation with Jean-Claude. He's like, "Why are you doing this?" He's like, "I can't tell nobody. He's gonna kill me, or he's gonna go back in time and kill my family, and I'll never even existed." And so before Jean-Claude could really take him in, he throws himself out of the window.
Right? Yeah, he's just like, if I die here, then just me.
It's just me.
But if you take me back, then you're gonna kill my family.
Yeah, but then Jean-Claude follows him out, and then they like go in time back together.
Right.
Or go back into the future.
They hit the return button.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we go back in time, or we go back to the future. He does his trial, but he doesn't say anything, and he just gets sentenced back to the moment they're falling, and then he just dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was a weird punishment, but.
Yeah, well, I guess because especially during that time, there's no way to identify him, and so there's no really well, I guess there should be a ripple on that because he lands on a guy's car, and then what if that guy who had that car needed the car to invent Microsoft?
Right,
or something like that. There's implications. He should have just died on the sidewalk.
Yes, that would have been less ripply.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get back in time. But at this point, Jean-Claude Van Damme knows there's something up with McComb, who is our main antagonist of the film.
Yeah, McComb, currently senator, going for president. But in the the first scene when they say, "Hey, we're looking for people to back our
back in 1994,
back our bill to stop or to police time travel." He is one of the people
in the room
who's up and coming senator who's like, yes, I volunteer to be on this committee.
No, he's and so he meets him. Jean-Claude Van Damme already doesn't. He knows there's something up with him.
Right. He doesn't really know what it is, but it's that he got the hint from his old partner. And
then his boss just ends up telling Jean-Claude like, hey, why don't you just go home, take the time off. You're way too wrapped into this McComb guy. You have no evidence, man. And then he invites him to dinner with him and his wife. I was like, yeah, rub it in that he has a dead wife. No, but he ends up going home, and then I think he ends up doing what I think a lot of people with but dead spouses do. Maybe he was really just one of those romantics that just I can't be with anybody else, so he goes home. I don't know if he pours himself some alcohol.
It looked like it,
but then he watches old home videos of them, and it's super creepy. But I've never been in that situation, so I can't really comment on it. But then he starts reciting his lines from the Homecoming.
Right, it just kind of gives you the impression that he just, if not every night, often watches this, and he's just kind of trying to relive the moment.
Yeah, he's just super depressed, and it's like, oh my god, my voice. But it's one of I think Jean-Claude's best acting of somebody who's distraught.
Yeah, yes, you feel for him. He definitely portrays some real emotion. That it's
It's unlike him to do.
Right. For Universal Soldier, he was very,
Emotionless.
like he started off kind of zombie controlled, and so very emotionless in that.
And like Double Dragon, not Double Impact, which we haven't done, sort of like he gets to play a little bit. He does a little Boy Scout, but then he does Bad Boy. So it's not like a really strong performance. But this one, he's that seasoned cop that's just that's just depressed that his wife is dead, and he watches these old tapes. It's super sad. But he wakes up. His alarm is saying that there's no mail, but he wakes up to a little like a charge sound, and then this is where we get another fight because Macomb, after the visit to his job, was like, I don't like him, we need to get rid of him.
Yes.
Because he will be a problem. But yeah, and then this is where we get Jean-Claude Van Damme split number 2.
Oh yeah.
But before that, we have like this really awkward knife fight.
Jean-Claude's known for his great fighting, and that fight was not fantastic.
I just don't think he does a lot of knife fighting.
Right.
So,
he should just throw the knife down and then just beat the guy.
But then the guy had like 2 knives. But then he kept concentrating on the one knife that Jean-Claude was holding. Like, that whole scene is probably...
There's actually a couple seconds where Jean-Claude's like holding his knife still, and the other guy's like sword fighting against it with 2 knives, and like it's just...
Oh, man, we have to remember that this is 1994 and not Keanu Reeves' John Wick 2, Keanu versus Common.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, so that fight was But then like we got the guy who was trying to tase Jean-Claude Van Damme. He accidentally electrocuted Slipknot from the Suicide Squad. He looks exactly like the guy who plays Slipknot. And then...
Is it?
No, it's not Slipknot.
Oh.
No, they look alike, though.
When you said that, I'm like, it totally does.
No, but then, Jean-Claude accidentally knocks over this water, and now there's water all over the floor, which sets up the bad guy for 50,000 volts.
Yes. He pulls out his taser and ends up tasing himself.
Well, Jean-Claude does the splits above 2 counters, which... Man, I gotta admit, man, that scene, Jean-Claude's butt, those are buns of steel.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, so he ends up Jean-Claude ends up throwing him out of his apartment, and then in comes his sort of shadow partner.
Right.
It's a chick from IA.
Yeah,
Internal
I guess
Affairs.
she's been working for a while, but this will be the beginning of her in the TimeCop.
Yeah. Well, she's there from Internal Affairs, and she's trying to evaluate if Jean-Claude Van Damme is a risk.
Right. Oh, yeah, because his partner went rogue.
Yeah, so we got to make sure you're okay. And so they ended up seeing that there's a ripple in time in 1994 in Washington, D.C. Now, if I was the head guy, I forgot his name, but it's his Jean-Claude Van Damme's best friend, I would not send him to 1994 in Washington, D.C. Why? Because his wife died that year.
Sure, that makes sense, but whatever.
But he's our best agent. God damn it. But yeah, so he ends up having to go to 1994 with Sarah Fieldings. And he's trying to freak her out. During the lunch, he's all oh yeah, who are those? She's all who are those guys? He's like, oh, don't worry, they're there to scrape off our bodies in case anything happens.
Right.
He's just totally just fucking with it the whole time. I think, he's like, oh, you see those 2 red spots? That's who they are.
the somebody twins. The
Volder twins.
Volder twins. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's super funny, and this is where we get a little bit of Total Recall. So this is the first time we get to see Jean-Claude Van Damme go into the past.
Right.
And then we get the whole, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, little exposed to Mars face, right? Because her face is like,
This is the worst part of Total Recall. It's ruined the whole movie.
But hey, at least that part was practical effects.
It is, yes. I'll give him that.
But yeah, so they end up going back into time, trying to check out this time ripple. And they go to the software company and they find out that, who's there? Senator McComb, younger version, wanting out of the company because he didn't believe in the software.
Right.
And then so Jean-Claude is upstairs. Sarah is is outside. Oh, before that she said, "Oh, what time are we? Oh, I was turning 16. I wish I could tell my younger self not to sleep with some guy." So it's just a little side note, little Easter egg for the end.
Totally.
But yeah, as McComb is trying to pull out, he gets a check trying to get bought out from the company, and then who comes in? Future McComb.
Current day McComb, yeah.
Good.
He comes in and he's like, "You're an idiot. Don't cash that check because the chips that this company is making are going to be worth billions, and we need that money to fund our presidential campaign."
Which in the new light, if you watch this movie now, it's totally Trump. Because his whole idea in this movie is he doesn't want to be backed by anybody.
Right. Because then he doesn't know anybody. Yeah, so then Van Damme comes down. He's like, "Freeze!" And then he tries to make the arrest to bring him back. In that, new partner.
Yep, Sarah Fielding. As she's holding McComb at gunpoint, she actually switches it over to Van Damme.
Yep.
Oh, who didn't see that betrayal coming?
Agents.
But she's all like, "Yeah, he's gonna be the new president, and I'm voting early."
So dumb. I totally didn't see it the first time I watched this movie.
Yeah.
And now it's been like 20 years since I've watched this movie, and I totally didn't see it again. She turns on him. I'm like, "Oh, that's right. I forgot she was a bad guy."
I don't know. I was just like, man. But I'm glad they really didn't give you time with her. So you didn't it would have been a worse betrayal later on.
Right.
But then I also think Van Damme trusted her way too early. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's he's pretty much about to get, he is about to get killed because the guy who owned the software company got shot in the face. Point blank. And so.
Which, again, that's probably a ripple since he's the guy who's inventing the chips.
Well, no, the chip has already been invented.
It still seems ripply. But that's not important.
Yeah. And so we get this really long, warehouse fight.
Yeah.
Right? Van Damme pretty much makes a lot of questionable choices where to choose cover because he keeps hiding behind these red barrels that say flammable and he's getting shot at. So, the entire warehouse is on fire.
Right. But the one kind of cool scene in this is young McCone picks up a gun, and when he does, Jean-Claude kicks him in the face.
Yeah.
And then you see old McCone, and a scar appears on the side of his face.
Yeah.
Which is the first time you really see, Ripple in action.
Yeah, exactly. Like a direct effect, right?
Yeah.
Which is awesome. It was cool. The effect was pretty minimal, but it looked cool. Happening. We also get a nice little Terminator Easter egg. Van Damme finally gets to the ledge at the guy who's been shooting at him, and then he shoots a nitrogen filled pipe.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yep. I didn't put any of this Terminator stuff, but now that you said that, they were similar time period and competing against each other, totally.
But yeah, the guy's arm totally freezes off, and then he kicks it, and then the guy falls to his death. And so as Jean-Claude is trying to make his way to his little time device.
Right, because the girl had pulled it off.
Well, no, the guy had thrown it up
Oh,
there.
then yes, you're right. Yeah, the guy had thrown it up there.
And so he's about to go get it, but then the girl's like beating on him. John Claude's being all, I don't want to fight a girl. And then he's like, I changed my mind. Oh, man. But before John Claude could get back to Macomb, he shoots Sarah Fieldings.
Yeah.
She's all like, you're not going to leave with me. Bang, bang, bang. And then John Claude goes back into the future because Macomb isn't back in the future. But now everything in his department is all different. Like on the wall, it says Macomb Data Link Industries.
Right.
And they're shutting down that department.
Yes.
And so Jean Claude Van Damme is like, oh, I gotta go back to the past to find Sarah Fielding, blah, 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 blah.
Because she's the only witness.
Yeah.
Because now she's not.
Now she's not even in the field, in the data system.
Yeah.
And so he goes back into he tries to convince his boss that he's like, hey, we're best friends. And he does a pretty, not enough information for me.
Right.
But I guess the time constraint was pressing them. But he sends.
But it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things where the guy's still the boss, and he is still obviously a member of that team because the other guy makes the joke. Hey, as soon as we take everything down, you get to keep the.
Yeah, you get to keep the pod.
The pod. But then the guy's like, "We're friends." Like, it was a little disconnect. Like,
well, it's just to me, it's like, well, I guess no, Macomb couldn't affect him becoming like a cop still. Because like his past self didn't have time to be like, don't
right.
stop this guy or whatever. Because like you can't in this world you cannot go to the future because it hasn't been made yet.
Right. Only to the past.
So yeah, so that's one of their little quirky time travel science things. And so in this one, he's still a cop, but I guess maybe their whole relationship is different. Maybe he was just that rogue cop that like he's like, God damn it, Walker, give me your badge. You're suspended without pay. But he says like a little couple of like bits of knowledge to convince him. So he gets Walker or Jean Claude Van Damme. He gets him back into the pod to go back to the past. And as he's setting it all up, he gets shot up. And I really wanted Jean Claude Van Damme to do his no from Universal Soldier. Oh, man. But yeah, he ends up going back to the past. He uses his little phone technology to see if there's been any Jane Does that has a gunshot wound.
Right. For that day. So he goes to the hospital. And then, who do we see? Mia Sarah, John Claude's wife in there, leaving. Right.
And then so he finds this Jane Doe who's Sarah Fielding. He's like, I'm going to get you out of here because you're a witness and you'll testify, blah, 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 blah. He's like, do you have any proof that you were here? I was like, I don't know, being shot, like being admitted to a hospital. But yeah, they take her blood and she's like, it's in the lab. So he grabs it, but he's, all of a sudden he sees his wife's blood vial.
Yep. He's like, why is my wife's blood in here? Pregnant. What?
Dun, dun, dun. No. But I was like, I don't know. Man, but the security back in 94 was really lax. I felt like you would need a key card to get in there, right?
Right. Well, he did have a police uniform on, even though it's a little bit different.
Yeah. No, but the lab. I feel like the lab would have had like a key card swipe.
Right.
Or is that new?
Or a key or
like a little pad
something.
thing.
Yes.
But it was just wide open.
Yeah.
But he goes back to Sarah Fielding's room, and oh no, she's dead. And who's that? Who killed her? Double Dragon.
With the ultimate mullet.
He still has a mullet in this movie. Oh, he can't let go of it.
Hey, it makes him look tough. Maybe he's got an odd-shaped head, and he's like, oh, if I cut this hair too short in the back, my head's lumpy.
No, I swear, he's like in other movies where he's just bald. But the movie I'm trying to think about him, he's like simple. Yeah. But yeah, so like the doctor comes in, thinks Jean-Claude killed her.
Of course.
He gets out of there.
Because 2 thuggy giant guys just left the room, so it's gotta be.
I'm sorry. Well, you know, I mean, if Jean-Claude could go into the lab without any identification, I'm pretty sure 2 thuggy guys walking around doesn't seem suspicious.
That's true. It is a hospital.
But yeah, so Jean-Claude, he's like, oh, well, hey, she's dead. I might as well go save my wife. Oh, because he found out.
Oh, that's right.
She was
Yes,
pregnant.
So now he has a reason to save her because he's like, I'm a good cop. I could go back and save her, but that is against the rules, and I have to follow the strict guidelines of this.
It's true. And so, but yeah, so he goes to the same mall that they met up at the beginning of the film, and he like tries to like tell her not to turn around, but she turns around because, you know, she's all stubborn. I don't know. But she's like, who the fuck are you? You're not Max. Because, you know, he has...
Because you got big old puffy hair.
He has this new fact. Wolverine-inspired long hair. But he's like, you gotta come with me. I need to see, you know. Which is another Terminator line. Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he drags her all over the place, trying to run away from Double Dragon.
Yep.
Makes it like he ends up losing them, and he tells her like, you need to keep him upstairs. Which, I mean, if it's me and Sarah, it won't be too hard.
Yeah, you gotta tell him your secret.
Yeah, you gotta tell. Yeah, he's like, I know you have something to tell me today, so tell me. And you know, I'm just saying, if me and Sarah was trying to keep in '94, even now. If she was trying to tell me to stay upstairs, all she has to do is show me the right boob, too. Right. Oh, man. But a question I wanted to ask you. Is it cheating if you kiss the future version of your husband?
I would totally... I forced my daughter to watch this with me. She's 16. She was... entertained but not impressed with this movie, and we totally had that exact same conversation.
So what was your opinions and what was hers?
So since it's a different time, it's a different person. So that was her justification.
Oh, is this so she said it was cheating?
It was, definitely 100% cheating.
What about you? Coming from like, you know, like sort of like the same age, and like if that had happened to you. Because remember, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme with 10 years of trauma.
It's true. It's that weird thing where, like, if I saw my younger self kissing her, I would be okay with that. Mm-hmm. But if I was young me and I walked around the corner and old me was there kissing my wife, it would probably be issues.
But would you not believe if he was like, I'm you from the future?
But still, that's still weird.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't be mad because there has to be a reason, right? Like, I mean, it's still you, just you in the future.
Right.
Right? So you can't, it's not like it's some stranger. It's still you.
But much has happened, so he is kind of a stranger.
You know, he's just a man with 10 years of more experience. Oh, man. But yeah, so after he leaves, he goes, hides, and then he watches the whole beginning of the film unfold.
Yep.
And I wonder in my mind...
cheesy line again and everything.
I wonder if, in my mind, I was like, is he watching himself be corny as fuck? Like, it's 2004, in his time, he's like, man, I can't believe she married me with those lines. Oh, man. So, we end up going to, like, sort of the end, or, like, the beginning / end of the same scenario where Jean-Claude, he, like, me and Sarah, they had minus boob, right? Minus boob this time. Just imagine if, like, since they're changing little things, you got the right boob. But, yeah, she goes, like, after coitus. She goes downstairs. Jean-Claude is already in the house telling her, you gotta keep him upstairs. Blah, 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 blah. And so she goes upstairs, tells him, I'm pregnant. And we are at the final scene of the film, like final fight of the film. He goes outside. He starts to try to get the jump on the guys who got the jump on him in the first place.
And he totally does in the first guy. But then
right away he gets held up again.
Yeah.
But then young Jean-Claude Van Damme turns off the lights because apparently the light switch is right next to the master bedroom.
Yeah, this is like the main light switch for the entire house. Like,
isn't that in the basement usually?
Or the attic, whatever.
Or outside, right?
Or like outside, or...
Well, no, I guess not outside, because then any regular old Joe could just be like, oh, ha, ha, ha.
I lived in an apartment complex once where there was a door that to the electrical room, and it had everybody's power in there, but that door was never locked. And one day, the power went out, and I was just all like, "Oh, power went out!" And I looked outside, and most of the places in the complex were still on, but our entire building was off.
Was it just kids?
And some kid had gone in there and just click, 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 click,
God
click,
damn
run.
Yeah. That's worse. I think I'd rather get the flaming poop bag in front of my door, just because what if you're doing something important and you're like, I didn't save.
Oh. Yeah, I was just watching TV.
Or what if it's a sports game? It's the last 30 seconds of the final half. Your team is down by 1 point. Be super pissed.
Right, power goes off, DVR stops. Oh man.
But so we get the final fight scene. Jean-Claude Van Damme, the future Van Damme is taking way too long to take care of the guys on the outside.
Okay, so just weird, quirky thing. The way they filmed it, it totally looked like he was just booking it away from the house. Yeah. The way that film, every time they showed it, he's kind of running through the bushes. But it's the angle showed it as he was going away from the house. And then all of a sudden he was back at the house. Yeah. I was every time they showed that, I'm like, where the hell is he going?
Maybe he's just running in a circle.
Maybe.
That could be it, right? It was just really, because then they really ended up at the clothing line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it was just a circle around, or maybe the house is fucking big. But I just don't know how much a DC cop is affording a house in the suburbs. Well, we never really find out what she does, so maybe she's the main breadwinner. But while in the house, we have young Jean-Claude trying to protect his now knowledge in his mind is pregnant wife, and so we have this pretty epic roof scene.
Which seemed like an odd choice. There's bad guys coming after me. I'm not going to hide, but I'm going to climb onto this extremely steep roof in the middle of a downpour.
How is he getting traction? But she gets to the very top, and it's raining, there's a thunder, and she sits right next to the lightning rod.
Yeah. Hold on to it. For stability, yeah.
There's a lot of questionable moments in this film, and I don't think the director wanted you to really break it down like that. But so Jean-Claude, he gets his wife, they're both hanging off the ledge. We always had, in a 90s film, there always has to be a ledge scene.
Right, yeah, young Claude.
Yeah, young Claude. He has the young grip.
Yeah.
But he's holding on to his wife and the ledge while his hand is getting stepped on. But then, fine, Mia Sarah shoots the guy in the dick. And then, Jean-Claude sort of swings her towards, this little pipe that's...
Yeah, through the drain pipe. So.
Yeah, a drain pipe. He goes back up. She runs away. She's like, I'm going to go get help. But then Jean-Claude, he's for some reason going to the other side of the roof. And then climbing up the roof?
Yeah, he decides that now it's his turn to climb up this steep, wet roof.
But then gets shot. Which, I forgot to mention, in the beginning of the film, he gets shot, but he has his vest on.
Right.
And so this time, nothing's changed. He still has his vest on, but now he's also falling 30 feet from the roof. still fine. Lands perfectly on his back, you know.
They'll knock the wind out of you, but you're not gonna die.
Well, yeah. Plus, there's mud, so like you have like a little bit of mud pool cushioning.
Little cushion.
Yeah. But now, so Van Damme makes his way back into the house, right? He's he's like trying to take down all the guys, but then he sees Mia Sara caught once again by Old Macomb. And so, again, he's in this peril, but then young Van Damme comes out of pops out, and then he's like shooting. He shoots the one guy in the head. And then and freaking Double Dragon's holding future Van Damme, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's me, but with long, luscious hair."
So fluffy, so fluffy.
But then so Double Dragon makes his way outside and he starts beating young Van Damme again. Old Van Damme is knocked out. Mia Sara's upstairs. Old Macomb hides the C4 pipe bomb.
Right.
The thing that looks like a prop from Ninja Turtles Back in Time. Or the Secret of the Ooze. Right? It looks exactly like the tube, right?
Totally does.
But Van Damme, he finally kills Double Dragon. Because Double Dragon says, "How about you sleep on it?" A line that he had used previously. Old Van Damme goes, "I did, and I didn't like it." Or something like that. And then beats the shit out of Double Dragon and then snaps his neck Henry Cavill Superman style.
Yep.
But it looked like it was hard because he took a while. Double Dragon had a really thick neck.
He does. He's got a thick neck. You gotta put some torque under that.
Yeah. So Van Damme makes his way upstairs because he sees the scene from before.
Through the window where...
Through the window where Mia Sara is being held captive. He goes upstairs, sees Macomb, and he's like, "Oh my God." He drops his gun, and he's like, "We're all gonna fucking die here, but I fucking win because the young me is still alive."
Right.
And then Van Damme...
And you won't be around to stop me next time, and so he will be me, and then he will be great.
Oh, yeah, because earlier he gives him a letter saying, "Follow this, and you'll be the fucking president."
Yeah.
But unbeknownst to him, Van Damme had sent him a letter to come to the house, which, again, you're walking into the house, but in the front yard, there's dead Double Dragon, one knocked out cop, but I'm guessing maybe he's like, well, after all the carnage that happened at the warehouse, maybe there's something happening here that I still have to go upstairs. And so Old Macomb is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Old Macomb is talking to himself like a father that hates his son.
Totally. Yeah. He totally treats himself like a bitch.
Yeah, because earlier he's like, "Hey, do me a fucking favor. Stop eating candy bars. Fuck." Yes. But, so, what's it called? Old Van Damme is trying to find Mia Sara the the countdown. Because I guess maybe it's like their little code sometimes. Like, maybe he does that when he's like, "Hey, let's get out of here and make a baby." But
she knew. She knew what it meant. So.
But so Mia Sara hits Old Macomb in the baby maker. And then Van Damme kicks young Macomb into himself. Now, previously in the beginning of the film, we have known one of the rules is that you can never
interact with yourself,
younger self, because the same matter cannot occupy the same space.
Yes. Something
like that.
Yeah.
Another thing I think that Cloverfield Paradox had taken into heart, because if you have never seen that movie, it's boring as shit. And they use the same logic. But then we get this did not hold up. Young Macomb melds into Old Macomb.
It's still pretty
good for the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's sort of... but it looks like it's a quarter of the budget of the T-2000 from Terminator 2. But before he does that, he shoots Mia Sara in the shoulder. She falls. C4 is still going out. Old Van Damme brings her outside, lays her next to his younger self, and then he goes back home.
And boom, the house explodes.
I think he should have called the cops. Well, I guess maybe, I don't know if they had neighbors. Maybe they called the cops. Like, oh my God, there was an explosion.
Yeah.
Right?
Or he's like, young me already called the cops because he's not an idiot.
But Jean-Claude Van Damme goes back into the future. He sees that the Data Link Industries is back to Parker, John Parker. He's still friends. Now he's friends, and his friend is alive again because before he got shot up.
Yep.
In the alternate future. And so he's just setting to go home. He sees Sarah Fielding, his the internal affairs agent, and he's like, "Hey, I heard the guy you lost your virginity to is waiting for a second chance." Super like fucked up, I guess, because like she didn't want to lose her virginity to him. But then he goes into his Tesla.
I forgot about that.
But he goes into his Tesla. 2004, man.
Oh, let me tell you,
Uh-huh.
the cars of the future are horribly done. I mean, sure, they're like automatic cars that drive you around and stuff, but whoever designed those.
Well, I mean, still, you gotta remember, it was like 94. They're still riding off the high of like Blade Runner, Mad Max. So there wasn't like this mindset of wanting a sleek design like the Tesla, how the Tesla looks.
Right.
And but yeah, that does look like they used interior for like from Star Wars.
Yeah, like R2-D2 pumped a dumpster.
Yeah. But, you know, Van Damme goes into his car and he goes, "Take me home." And then it pulls up to his house and then his son comes out. Super heartwarming time because then the look on Van Damme's face looks good. He looks like super surprised. You know, his little blonde-haired boy comes out, or dirty blonde hair comes out. And then Mia Sarah comes out, you know, looking all like mom fine. You know what? This is like 2004, but they did not try to change the wardrobe at all because she just looks like a 90s mom.
Yep.
And then, you know, she's like, "Oh, what happened at work today?" And then kisses her like he hadn't seen her in 10 years. And I think she noticed it.
Because I kept thinking, I was like, I wonder if it clicks in her head. Oh, you kiss like my old husband when
1994.
when I was married to my young husband.
Oh man. So, but I'm guessing, like, you know, it's a different timeline, right? Yeah, it's a different timeline, but he just goes back into that whatever.
But there's no timelines. So
All right.
they just change the past, changes the future.
And it's just one specific timeline. Yeah. But the movie ends there, roll credits. Awesome film still. Not as good as I remember it, but still really good. All right, Kobe. So what were your first thoughts of the film when you watched it way back then?
Oh, no, this was fantastic. This was really probably one of my favorite
Van Damme films?
Van Damme movies. Like the fight scenes and stuff aren't quite as
good as it used
as
you remember?
I mean, it doesn't. His acting is much better, and so they actually spend more time on him, like developing him as a character.
Yeah.
And so then it kind of cuts back on the fight scenes a little bit, so they're less impressive. But
you still get 2 Van Damme splits.
Totally.
I think the first time I watched this was probably like 1996. I was living in LA. My mom had a black box because we're poor, so we stole cable. But it was on HBO. My mom was at work, and I got to see boobs. I think that is the specific reason why I felt like this movie was amazing. But yeah, I like the whole time. I think everybody has like a love for time travel movies, no matter how big or small.
Right, and I think I was young enough that I didn't grasp the complexities of time travel.
Yeah.
So like it didn't bother me, and I loved the goofiness of same matter can't maintain the same space, and so that was like a really kind of a cool way to end it.
Yeah, but now that we're all older and stuff, we're like the science of this time travel doesn't work out.
Yeah, now time travel's all timelines, not.
Yeah. And the fact that they couldn't go into the future was weird. It was like I don't know. It was just like, how could you not? But I guess that would just complicate it more.
I never questioned it, and I didn't even really question it this time. When they said it, I was like, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe it's just like if they had added going into the future, it would have complicated the little science that they were trying to build. Right. So I guess it was just like a simplified way of saying like, yeah, we're not going to go into the future because it's going to get fucking complicated. Right?
We'll do that in the sequel.
Oh yeah, starring Jason Lee Scott.
I know there's a sequel and I haven't seen it.
It looks so bad, dude. Oh, Kobe. So what were your thoughts on it at this round?
There's a lot of it that really holds up pretty well. Mm-hmm. When they jump out the window, the special effects on them falling is not today's CGI. It's definitely like green screen kind of thing.
There's a lot of green screen in this.
But yeah, like the them coming in and out with the little bubble,
the ripple,
still pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely like strong Sci-Fi Channel kind of ripple.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of scenes in this film that I just noticed now because I've been spoiled by all these special effects that are definitely green screen. Like when Jean-Claude goes back the final time.
Oh, in the truck.
In the truck. You know who wouldn't have done that green screen? Jackie Chan. But we cannot hold American action stars to Jackie Chan standards.
I don't think we can hold Asian stars to Jackie Chan standards.
Oh man. But yeah, so Kobe, we're gonna do the rating. How would you buy this film?
Maybe I'd go with like used Blu-ray.
Oh, for all the...
See if there's anything extra. See if there... You know what? No, maybe I'd do new DVD because I feel like if you go too crisp on viewing, you're all of a sudden you're going to start noticing
all the imperfections.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that too. I was going to say...
Because there are some of those movies where I'm like, I really like this movie, but I'm probably not going to... Until they digitally remaster it, I'm not going to go up to DVD or to
Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray because you start to notice.
Well, I think the problem with remastering for Blu-ray is that the resolution of those old films won't hold up. Yeah, so I think remastering, just put it on Blu-ray. I would buy it on DVD, new DVD also, because I know there has to be special what's it called? Special features,
cutscenes.
Explaining the differences between this and the Dark Horse comics. TimeCop, Man Out of Time.
No, that would be really cool. Yeah, if they did like a little thing on that.
Do you think that they could make the third TimeCop now, or is it just too late?
Jean-Claude's still in pretty decent shape. I could see him pulling. That at least he could be the retiring cop who's training a new younger buddy or something.
Also, you want it to be like a buddy cop film?
Maybe that way. Yeah, because I mean, they did that thing where it was like anytime you travel in time, you just got to go with a partner. So
they're regulating each other.
Yeah.
Do you think if they did a third film that we'd get Mia Sarah's right breast this time?
I think probably at this point she's probably done with the nude scenes. I mean, unless they throw a lot of cash at her. She hasn't been in anything in a while, has she?
I don't think so. But you know what? If you guys want to Google Mia Sarah 2019, she's still pretty hot.
Right, for being in her 50s?
She's 52. She's rocking the short hair, which, you know, and it's not that short hair that's going to ask to speak to your manager. But she's still hot. So you know what, guys? If any of you guys grew up on Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and she's I don't know if she's divorced, shoot your shot. Oh, Kobe. So I wanted to ask. We're coming to the end of the episode, guys. We want to give you the next movie that we're gonna watch, so that way you guys can watch the film too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, did you want me to pick the next week's film, or did you want to pick it?
I was kind of looking through all of like the Jean-Claude films. I don't even know where to go with the next one. Did you have an idea of what you?
Well, like, you know, there's always Double Impact. You also get boob in that one,
right? I was thinking. I looked at Cyborg because that was another one that I had actually seen in the theater.
What, Cyborg? Was that what? I was also thinking about Street Fighter, but it's not about it. I didn't want to pick Street Fighter because it is not mainly Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That right.
Let me see.
Yeah, and I didn't know if we were gonna go like classic and do the Bloodsport and kickboxing.
Yeah, there you go.
Way.
We have to pick one: Bloodsport or kickboxing. Which one do you think we should do?
I don't know.
Or, you know, next week we could do Double Impact, and then you could pick the last film for Van Damme month. You know? Because there's, like, a lot of, like, obscure Van Damme movies, too, like Quest.
Right. And there's one where he's, like, a blind...
He had a blind guy movie?
Yeah, he was blind and he was teaching... So he wasn't like the main star, but he was blind and he was teaching somebody who was fighting in some super tournament that their brother had fought in and got killed. And
is it Kickboxer? That's Kickboxer 4 or something like that.
Maybe.
Because that is this exact plot of Kickboxer 1. Oh, man. Yeah, if you want, we could do Double Impact. Because, you know, Double Impact also has a classic Van Damme antagonist, which is Bolo.
Oh, yeah. I like Bolo. So
Alright, guys. We're coming to the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Barry.
I'm Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Intro music by Lee Rosevere called Arcade Montage. You can find it on FMA.com under the music album Music for Podcast 3.
Thank you.